quiet village, mist rolling over old stone walls. No paparazzi, no red carpet, just dark SUVs, U.S. Secret Service agents, and Elton John. He performs for 45 minutes. His fee? Enough to buy a Malibu mansion. But this isn't a royal wedding. It's not even a celebrity affair. The bride is Eve Jobs, daughter of the man who gave the world the iPhone. What happened next wasn't just a wedding. It was a message. Silent, deliberate, and meant for the global elite. Because this wasn't just a love story. It was a quiet revolution. The wedding that whispered power. In a quiet corner of the English countryside, where cobblestone roads disappear into the morning mist, a wedding took place. There were no flashing cameras, no headlines, just history in the making. But this wasn't your typical union. The bride? Eve Jobs, daughter of Steve Jobs. The groom? Harry Charles, Olympic equestrian and son of legendary rider Peter Charles. And the venue? A 12th century church wrapped in silence and significance. The kind of place where stories aren't told, they echo. This was more than marriage. It was symbolism, the intersection of tech royalty and sporting nobility. A guest list hidden in shadows. July 26, 2025. The village of Charlbury went still. Locals noticed something strange. Armored black SUVs, unfamiliar security teams, and whispers that something enormous was happening. Outside a cozy pub, 20 U.S. Secret Service agents stood at attention. Not for a president, but for the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, attending as a guest. Inside the church, over 100 candles, walls flickering with red roses, Persian rugs, and Eve, walking down the aisle in a nameless white dress. No brand, no embellishments, just beauty, unbranded. Elton John took the stage at the after-party. He sang your song under a ceiling of crystal chandeliers, fireworks bursting just beyond the manor. He performed for 45 minutes. His fee? $1.2 million. No one questioned it. Every note was a monument. This wasn't just a wedding, it was a message. The media couldn't get in, but they couldn't stay out either. The Times called it a $1 million wedding orchestrated like a military operation. The New York Post said it was a fairy tale worth nearly $7 million. Who was there? Jennifer Gates, daughter of Bill Gates. Jessica Springsteen, daughter of Bruce Springsteen. Princess Beatrice. Jony Ive, former Apple design chief. And then silence. No interviews. No social media blitz. Just a carefully curated absence of noise. Because sometimes the most powerful statement is not saying anything at all. Eve Jobs, the heiress who rewrote the script. The world expected her to follow her father's path, to run Apple, to build an empire, to dominate the tech scene. Instead, Eve Jobs chose horses. While her father delivered keynote addresses to millions, she was brushing the mane of a horse in a Florida barn. While the media waited for her to take the throne, she quietly enrolled at Stanford, studying tech and society, but never seeking the spotlight. She competed in elite equestrian events, quietly ranking among the top 5 under 25 worldwide. No press conferences, no noise, just results. When fashion brands noticed her, Glossier, Louis Vuitton, Japanese Vogue, it wasn't because of her last name. It was because she had presence. Quiet, undeniable presence. Her empire is built in silence. A glass-walled penthouse in San Francisco, worth $85 million. A horse estate in Geneva. A $120 million yacht docked in Monaco, complete with a Damien Hirst painting between 2 Steinway pianos. Her rumored net worth? Over $850 million, and that's without touching Apple stock. But she's never bragged, never confirmed, never even mentioned Apple publicly. Because for Eve, power is not inherited. It's chosen. Harry Charles, the quiet knight. Harry wasn't born into tech or glitz. He was born into tradition. His father, Peter Charles, won Olympic gold. But Harry didn't rely on family glory. He earned his own. Muddy fields, early mornings, endless hours training in stables instead of attending premieres. In 2021, at the London International Horse Show, Harry won 3 back-to-back events. It wasn't luck, it was 10,000 hours of mastery. Each horse he rode was worth over $1 million. Each win was a quiet triumph. By 2024, he broke his arm before the Paris Olympics. He had a choice: withdraw or ride through pain. He chose to ride, and he won gold. And just like that, he stopped being Peter Charles's son. He became Harry Charles. His lifestyle? Rolex ambassador, jet-setting equestrian elite, but still grounded in the rhythm of hooves and humility. When legacy meets legacy, they met at a horse show. Not a gala, not a tech conference, just a quiet corner of the world where lineage didn't matter. Only your connection to the horse did. And maybe that's why they fit. Eve, daughter of digital disruption. Harry, son of sporting tradition. Two people who didn't chase the spotlight, yet earned it anyway. Two families, two worlds, one philosophy. Laurene Powell Jobs still lives in the same villa Steve designed in Woodside. Minimal, glass-lined, built for peace. She owns Leonardo da Vinci's manuscripts, Tesla test vehicles never released, and shares in Apple and Disney. But you won't see her on yachts or magazine covers. The Charles family owns a $30 million horse training facility across 120 acres. Climate-controlled stables. Imported sand from southern France. Bentleys and Defenders parked quietly in garages. Both families hold massive wealth, but neither used it to shout. They used it to build sanctuaries. Because real wealth doesn't roar. It waits. It protects. It shelters. Legacy isn't about inheritance. It's about intention. Laurene once said, "True freedom is having a place to return to." Peter Charles taught, "No tradition survives unless the next generation chooses it." Neither forced their children into their shadows. They opened the door and let them walk freely through it. So when Eve and Harry met, it wasn't just a love story. It was the merging of two philosophies, one rooted in innovation, the other in endurance. And together, they made a quiet vow to write their own script. A final thought: power has changed. In a world screaming for attention, where status is measured in likes and luxury is flaunted hourly, Eve and Harry made a radical choice. Silence. Not because they had nothing to prove, but because they didn't need to. Their wedding didn't break the internet. It broke a pattern, and maybe that's why it matters. Because real legacy isn't about the crown. It's about the courage to live without it. What do you think? Was this just a wedding? Or was it a new chapter in how power is expressed? Let me know in the comments below. And if you love stories about quiet power, untold wealth, and legacies written in silence, subscribe and turn on notifications. Thank you for watching.